At just 18 years old, Lamine Yamal is already rewriting football history. Barcelona calls him their golden boy. Spain sees him as their future. And the world is watching every move he makes. But behind the dazzling highlights and record-breaking moments, a different story is unfolding. Some see him as a once-in-a-generation talent, a prodigy destined to dominate world football. Others believe fame is getting to his head, questioning his attitude, his lifestyle, and his character. At the heart of this storm stands two powerful voices. On one side, Barcelona's manager Hansi Flick, protecting Yamal like a father figure, guiding him carefully through the pressure of superstardom. On the other, former French international Adil Rami, who has launched a fierce criticism of the young star's image and choices off the pitch. This is the story of a teenager caught between greatness and scrutiny. Will Lamine Yamal become Barcelona's next legend, or will the weight of expectation derail his rise? Before we dive deeper, perform this hat trick right now. Like, share, and subscribe, because that makes you a true football lover. Every generation has a footballer who redefines what is possible. For Barcelona, that name is now Lamine Yamal. Born on the 13th of July, 2007, in Esplugues de Llobregat, just a short drive from Camp Nou, Yamal grew up with football in his veins. From the streets of Catalonia to La Masia, Barcelona's legendary academy, his rise has been nothing short of extraordinary. At just 15 years old, he made his senior debut for Barcelona in La Liga, becoming the youngest player in the club's history to step onto the pitch. A few months later, he didn't just play, he scored. And in doing so, he etched his name into La Liga's history books as the youngest goalscorer ever. His meteoric rise didn't stop there. By 17, he had already become one of the youngest players to represent the Spanish national team, and he made the moment count, scoring his first international goal with the calmness of a seasoned veteran. Euro 2024 cemented his status as a global sensation. While Spain shone brightly, Yamal was the spark that lit their attack, fearless in taking on defenders, breathtaking in creating chances, and unshaken under pressure. Fans around the world watched in awe as a teenager played with the confidence and elegance of a superstar. But Yamal isn't just breaking records. He's redefining the role of a modern winger. Left-footed, fast, and unpredictable, he thrives on creativity. His dribbling is electric, his vision razor-sharp, and his decision-making far beyond his years. For Barcelona, he isn't just another talented youngster. He represents hope, a symbol of the club's next great era. Yet, as the spotlight grows brighter, so does the pressure. With every record shattered, every comparison to Lionel Messi, and every headline calling him the Messi regen, the expectations have become enormous. And for an 18-year-old, the weight of those expectations can be overwhelming. With every dazzling run, every record shattered, and every highlight shared across millions of screens, Lamine Yamal's reputation has grown faster than even Barcelona could have imagined. But with greatness comes expectation, and with expectation comes pressure. Barcelona fans see him as the face of their future, the player who will lead the club back to glory. For Spain, he's already become the hope of a nation, the teenager expected to deliver on the grandest stages. And for the global football community, he represents the next superstar, the one destined to follow in the footsteps of Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar. Yet behind the breathtaking performances lies a simple truth. Lamine Yamal is just 18, still a teenager, still learning, still adapting to a world where every move is analyzed, every gesture is magnified, and every decision sparks debate. From the moment he stepped onto the pitch at Camp Nou, his life changed forever. Suddenly he became a brand, a symbol, and a constant headline. Every week, his name dominates social media trends, with millions dissecting his skills, his attitude, even his private life. The demands are relentless. Sponsors line up, media cameras never stop flashing, and fans around the world expect perfection every time he touches the ball. For most players, this level of fame comes after years of experience. For Yamal, it arrived almost overnight. And that's where the challenge begins. Managing talent is one thing, managing superstardom at 18 is another. Every dribble, every celebration, every outfit he wears off the pitch becomes a talking point. Even the smallest misstep is magnified into controversy. This intense spotlight has created two very different perspectives about how to handle Yamal's rise. Some believe he should be protected, nurtured, and allowed to grow without unnecessary pressure. Others argue that his attitude, lifestyle, and choices off the pitch risk pulling him away from his true potential. Two voices, in particular, have shaped this debate: Barcelona's manager Hansi Flick and former French international Adil Rami, and their opposing views have ignited a storm around the young superstar. At the heart of Barcelona's rebuilding project, one man has taken it upon himself to manage the extraordinary rise of Lamine Yamal. That man is Hansi Flick. Since arriving at Barcelona, Flick has made it clear that Yamal isn't just another young player, he's the future of the club. But Flick also knows the dangers that come with rapid superstardom, especially for someone so young. In his eyes, protecting Yamal isn't just about tactics on the pitch, it's about shaping his entire environment. Flick understands that talent alone isn't enough to succeed at the very top. History is filled with stories of teenage sensations who burned brightly, only to fade under the weight of fame, and Flick is determined to make sure Yamal doesn't become one of them. His approach has been deliberate and patient. Rather than pushing Yamal to play every minute of every game, Flick carefully manages his workload. He knows that while the body of an 18-year-old recovers quickly, the mental toll of constant pressure can be just as demanding. Flick wants Yamal to develop steadily, without the risk of burnout. But Flick's influence goes beyond football. He's become a mentor, guiding Yamal through the challenges of sudden celebrity. Whether it's handling media attention, managing endorsements, or staying grounded amidst fame, Flick has positioned himself as a protective figure, someone Yamal can lean on when the noise gets too loud. One of the clearest examples of Flick's support came during the so-called goal celebration controversy. After scoring a stunning goal, Yamal maimed crowning himself, a gesture that divided opinion across social media. Some praised his confidence, others accused him of arrogance. But Flick stood firmly behind his player, insisting that self-belief is essential at this level. To Flick, Yamal isn't just a footballer. He's a teenager living in a world where every moment is magnified, every reaction scrutinized. His priority is balance, ensuring that Yamal's development as a player is matched by his growth as a person. In Flick's vision, Barcelona's future doesn't just depend on Yamal's left foot. It depends on his ability to handle the spotlight without losing focus. And for now, Flick believes the best way to help him achieve that is by shielding him from unnecessary distractions and letting his football do the talking. But not everyone agrees. While Flick preaches patience and protection, others see Yamal's growing fame and his lifestyle off the pitch as a potential warning sign. And one voice in particular has sparked fierce debate across the football world. But while Hansi Flick works tirelessly to shield Lamine Yamal, there is another voice that has sparked controversy and heated debate: former French international Adil Rami. Rami's words about Yamal are sharp, unfiltered, and impossible to ignore. In his view, talent alone is not enough. To him, a footballer's off-pitch choices, demeanor, and humility are just as crucial as goals and assists. And when it comes to Yamal, Rami sees warning signs. He criticizes the young superstar for his flashy lifestyle. From oversized jewelry to sagging pants and an apparent Americanized persona, Rami argues that Yamal is risking his focus and professionalism. To Rami, these are not trivial details. They are indicators of a player who could lose sight of what truly matters. Rami does not mince words. He acknowledges Yamal's brilliance on the pitch, describing him as a beast, a generational talent, capable of changing games in an instant. Yet he juxtaposes that talent with a personal frustration, emphasizing that charisma and skill mean little if a player's character is in question. In Rami's eyes, confidence has crossed into arrogance. Every gesture, every social media post, and every public appearance is scrutinized. And for a teenager still learning the ropes of fame and responsibility, Rami sees potential danger lurking beneath the glittering headlines. This criticism has ignited conversation across the football world. Some see Rami as brutally honest, warning against the pitfalls of early superstardom. Others dismiss his words as unnecessarily harsh, arguing that an 18-year-old is still entitled to express himself and enjoy his rise to fame. Yet the tension between Flick and Rami is clear. Flick embodies patience, mentorship, and protection, believing that Yamal's growth will come with guidance and experience. Rami, on the other hand, embodies scrutiny, realism, and caution, highlighting the dangers of letting fame overshadow discipline. The clash between these two perspectives has captivated fans, pundits, and the media alike, It raises questions about how young talents should navigate the pressures of modern football, between the nurturing hand of a manager, and the critical gaze of former professionals and the public. For Lamine Yamal, the challenge is profound. He must balance his immense potential with the scrutiny of voices like Rami's, while absorbing the guidance of mentors like Flick, and the world watches, waiting to see which path he will follow. As the debate between Hansi Flick and Adil Rami rages on, the football world has watched closely, and fans have made their voices heard. Social media platforms have become arenas for opinion, where every highlight, gesture and off-pitch choice by Lamine Yamal sparks discussion. Some fans defend the young prodigy fiercely. They argue that he is just 18 years old, still learning, still growing, and entirely entitled to his personal expression. For them, Rami's criticism is nothing more than harsh judgment from someone who has forgotten what it was like to rise to stardom at a young age. Other supporters highlight Yamal's brilliance on the pitch. Every dribble, assist and goal is dissected and celebrated, with comparisons to Lionel Messi appearing constantly. Many fans see Flick's guidance as the right path, trusting that patience and mentorship will ensure Yamal's talent flourishes, without being overshadowed by off-field distractions. But not all opinions are positive. Some fans align with Rami's warnings, believing that Yamal's flashy lifestyle and apparent confidence could turn into arrogance if left unchecked. They caution that superstardom is a double-edged sword, and even the most talented teenager can falter under the weight of fame. For these critics, the spectacle surrounding Yamal is a reminder that immense potential alone is never enough. The conversation extends beyond Barcelona supporters. Football lovers around the globe are captivated by the tension between mentorship and scrutiny, questioning how the next generation of stars should navigate fame, social media, and public opinion. For many, Yamal represents a new era, where footballers are both athletes and global icons, expected to perform on the pitch while managing a complex personal image off it. This split in fan sentiment reflects a larger cultural debate. Should young players be given freedom to grow at their own pace, or should they be guided strictly, learning to balance fame and responsibility from the very start? For Lamine Yamal, the answer will not come easily. Every highlight reel and record-breaking moment is now accompanied by a chorus of opinions, advice and judgment. And as the world watches, the young superstar must navigate this storm carefully, balancing confidence, humility, and the guidance of those who truly understand the pressures of professional football. Lamine Yamal is no ordinary teenager. At 18, he is not just a footballer, he is a phenomenon. With every match, every highlight, and every record, he carries the weight of Barcelona's legacy, Spain's hopes, and the expectations of millions of football fans worldwide. This is a world where talent alone is never enough. Superstardom brings with it constant scrutiny, and even the smallest misstep is amplified. Every celebration, every outfit, every social media post is noticed, discussed, and judged. For a young player still growing, the line between confidence and arrogance can feel dangerously thin. To succeed, Yamal must balance his immense talent with discipline, humility, and focus. On one side, Hansi Flick provides guidance, mentorship, and protection, helping him navigate the complexities of fame, while nurturing his footballing genius. On the other, critics like Adil Rami remind the world that talent must be matched with character, cautioning that brilliance without responsibility can quickly fade. The challenge is profound. Yamal must learn to thrive in the spotlight, without letting it control him, to remain grounded while being celebrated, and to channel both praise and criticism into growth rather than distraction. It is a delicate dance, one that requires maturity far beyond his years. Yet there is hope. If he can internalize the lessons from mentors, listen to constructive criticism, and focus on his craft, Yamal has the potential to become one of the defining players of his generation. His story is still being written, a tale of raw talent, immense pressure, and the pursuit of greatness in the unforgiving world of modern football. As the world watches, one thing is clear: Lamine Yamal's journey is far from ordinary. How he navigates fame, pressure, and personal growth will determine whether he becomes a legend, or simply another prodigy who could not survive the glare of the spotlight. Lamine Yamal's story is still unfolding. At 18, he has already achieved what most players can only dream of, yet the road ahead is filled with challenges, scrutiny, and high expectations. He stands at a crossroads, guided by the protective hand of Hansi Flick on one side, and warned by the critical eye of voices like Adil Rami on the other. Every step he takes is observed, analyzed and debated by fans across the world, and in this delicate balance between guidance and criticism, confidence and humility, lies the future of one of football's brightest stars. What happens next is up to Yamal. Will he harness his talent with discipline, focus, and resilience? Will he rise above the distractions and criticism to become the legend Barcelona and Spain hope for? Or will the weight of fame test him in ways the football world has never seen before? One thing is certain, the journey has only just begun, and the world will be watching every move. Before we close, it's time for you to perform a hat trick of your own. Like, share, and subscribe, because that's what makes you a true football lover, and it helps us bring more stories like this straight to your screen. Stay tuned, because Lamine Yamal's story is far from over, and every goal, every dribble, and every decision will continue to shape the next chapter of modern football history.